We're gonna make a steamed mussel dish here. I think I'm known as like the fresh California girl, and I mean that in so many different ways. To me, nothing screams California like beautiful heirloom cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna pop these straight into a saute pan. You could do this on a sheet tray too. I'm gonna drizzle this beautiful olive oil over the tomatoes, and then I've got some minced garlic here, and then some thyme. Season with a little bit of kosher salt and a little bit of fresh black pepper. Make sure that's all tossed together beautifully. I'm gonna throw these in the oven, forget about them for about 15 minutes. So then we're gonna move over here to the food processor. And what I'm doing here is a really simple, quick pesto. Today we're sort of switching up the pesto vibe here, and I'm using cashews, and I'm making a red pesto. So I'm gonna pour those beautiful golden cashews in there. I've got my sun-dried tomato that I've just given a rough chop. 3 whole cloves of garlic here. Calabrian chili. I'm actually gonna add all of that and also the oil that it comes in, because that oil contains so much flavor. And then I've got some fresh squeezed lemon juice, lemon zest. Never throw away that zest. And then I've got some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. So I'm gonna give that a quick grind and then add some olive oil to it. Roughly chopped. To that, I'm gonna add some extra virgin olive oil. And I don't like to stream this in, actually. I like to sort of dump as much of that olive oil in as I think I need right up front. Just gonna add a little salt here, and then I'll give it a little taste just to make sure it's seasoned perfectly. Perfect. We're gonna get started on some steamed mussels. So the first thing I wanna do is get this pan really hot. The best way to cook mussels is quickly. Mussels, to me, are one of the tastiest shellfish, and not even necessarily for the meat that they contain, but for the broth that they develop. We like to call that in this kitchen liquid gold. I'm gonna start by using olive oil. Immediately after putting that oil in, I'm gonna put these mussels in and start to get them steaming. I wanna be gentle. I am gonna serve the mussels in the shell, so it is important that we don't end up breaking a bunch of them. I kinda wanna just move these around a little bit. You can tell it's loud, sorry about that. Get that heat evenly distributed. And then to this, I'm gonna do what's called deglazing by getting some liquid into this roaring hot pan. It's the best way to bring the temperature down very quickly, but also get this wine flavor into the sauce. But also I want to evaporate all of the alcohol that's in the wine. That'll happen really quickly. You'll notice I pour the wine in and I immediately cover the pan. The meat inside of these mussels is really tender and beautiful and delicate, and the last thing I want to do is overcook them. So I want to cover this, let them steam in that white wine, and then immediately make that pasta. So you can see they're just opening up. These are almost ready to go. I want to get my pesto in here, beautiful cashew pesto, and this is really going to open up the spice of those Calabrian chilies and flavor this broth. Little bit of butter into this pan so that the sauce really sticks and holds on to that pasta. I'm gonna season this with just a touch of salt. So you wanna make sure that you're not over seasoning, especially since we're gonna reduce this a little bit. Some fresh lemon juice straight over the top. Honestly, shellfish really sings with some bright, fresh lemon juice. By the time this sauce is fully developed and starts to reduce, pretty much all of those mussels are open, and we can toss the pasta directly in there. We wanna take a little bit of that pasta water with us. The starch in that pasta water is actually gonna help sort of emulsify the sauce and help the sauce stick to the noodles. I've got some chopped parsley here. You know, we don't really have any herbs in here except for the thyme in the tomatoes, which I'm gonna pull out here and just add at the very last second. They're already hot. I'm just gonna fold these directly in here, and we're ready to plate. You can see that pasta is really holding on to the sauce, and I'm just gonna sort of haphazardly place these mussels. I'm just gonna put a little pile of the noodles straight down in the base of the bowl, and then I can arrange these mussels around the pasta. You wanna make sure you're not skimping on those mussels. I like my bowl overflowing with lots of these mussels. You don't wanna skimp on that beautiful sauce at the bottom here. All of that flavor in the sauce is where you wanna be. A little more parsley over the top at the very end here. You could serve this with bread, but honestly, you've got all these beautiful noodles here. So much flavor. This is honestly my perfect winter pasta. They should just pull out beautifully like that. Get a little pasta, a little tomato in there. Discard that shell in your bowl. This is a flavor bomb. Fruity spice from that Calabrian chili, sweetness from those light roasted tomatoes, slight nuttiness of cashew, and creaminess of cheese. Create your own little competition in your own little world and win every time with these steamed mussels.